What if I told you scientists have discovered a way to manipulate our neurons and genes in our brain using ultrasound frequencies and have found a way to manipulate our genes to make proteins using electricity? Sounds like a sci-fi and sounds wild, right? I know, but let me take you down this rabbit hole. So let me go back to genes and genetic material. So for the longest time, scientists have thought that we only use 2 to 10% of our DNA. The rest was just considered junk DNA. Now, for us to have almost 90% junk DNA almost seemed impossible. So scientists started to study what it actually does. Some have discovered that certain part of our junk DNA actually are viral DNA embedded into our DNA from our ancestral lineages. Now, depending on how they mutated over the thousands of years, some of the mutations can actually cause cancer, Alzheimer's, and other diseases such as autoimmune diseases. Wild, but let me show you. So viral junk DNA, over the course of hundreds of thousands of years, many viruses have inserted their genetic material into our DNA, resulting in nearly 6 times more viral DNA in the human genome than protein coding DNA. And this viral DNA can sometimes produce harmful proteins that can trigger cancer or other diseases. And there have been many studies done before about the effects of EMR, electromagnetic radiation, on certain illnesses such as cancers, Alzheimer's, headaches, nausea, and so forth. Let me show you a graph that I found from that study. So here is the graph that they took from the study that says we are surrounded by electromagnetic radiation like never before. And studies are linking EMR to cancer, Alzheimer's, autism, chronic fatigue, headaches, and other health issues. Now, these scientists and doctors were called quacks because there was absolutely no linkage between any of it until 2015, where sonogenetics comes into play. What is sonogenetics? It is the use of ultrasound frequency. Let me show you the definition of ultrasound frequency before I go on. So humans can hear sound waves with frequencies between 20 hertz and 20 kilohertz. Any frequencies higher than this range are termed as ultrasound. So we're not talking about like the medical ultrasound. And sonogenetics delivers complete brain control using ultrasound and genetics. This is where it gets wild. So they found that certain genes in our brain are actually frequency sensitive. And when you find that certain frequency, you can actually use it to penetrate the skull into the brain and activate neurons and genes in order to activate certain proteins to be made. This is why it's super important for us to eat healthy and not have any chemicals in our water, in our food, or in our air, because those chemicals can actually disrupt the protein pathway, either activate it, overactivate it, or completely deactivate it, which is what causes disease. Now they have a way of controlling our brain waves to make us either happy, sad, aggressive, and so forth with this sonogenetic technology. Now it gets even wilder because another scientist discovered that certain genes can be activated using electricity through wearing wearables. Let me show you that. A scientist in Zurich basically made the direct current actuated regulation technology, or DART, that can trigger specific gene responses with an electrical current through wearing a wearable. What does wearable mean? I don't know, fancy dancy electronic eye watches or watches, maybe even necklaces. We don't know yet. Now, if they can actually do this to certain genes, the DART technology was invented for basically people with diabetes and insulin deficiencies. And said wearable would activate that gene in order to make insulin, so you wouldn't need to get insulin shots anymore. Perfect and like really good for technology innovation. But what if this technology got in the wrong hands, in the hands of the government? Do we know what bandwidth frequency 5G uses? Is it within that range for sonogenetics? Are they already using this technology on us? Now, if they discover that certain of our junk DNA can be activated through electromagnetic radiation or, ultrasound radiation, or even through these wearables, could we as a human race be inducing all of these illnesses through the junk DNA without even knowing it yet? Or do you think that they already have this technology and they're using it on us? What do you guys think? Because I thought this theory was absolutely super wild, and I want to thank the person in my comment section who told me to go look up sonogenetics, because it's led me down this rabbit hole and I absolutely love it. So thank you. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys think that this is being wildly used on us already? Do you think that all of these electronic devices have an unhealthy impact on our lives? Do you guys know any other studies that you can give me that I can kind of search up? If so, please do, because I absolutely love it. Awesome. See you guys.